Previously, the smaller than usual group headed back to their rented home to introduce Isaac and Nova. Isaac's reaction was about what everyone expected. The group went out looking for information about potential jobs and found a variety of possibilities. They spent some time discussing what to do before deciding to make a final decision in the morning. That night, August slipped out and climbed the lighthouse to get a good feel for the city's layout. Meanwhile, Kess proudly drew a tarot card for Isaac, and upon drawing the lovers, announced that Isaac was totally going to get laid. They then discovered that he turned an amusing shade of purple when he blushed. They and Zarakir then kept everyone but the relatively non-perceptive August awake half the night with their, acrobatics. The next day, the group decided to split up. Kess went to check out a job asking for discreet healers and found themselves in a rundown clinic where people who couldn't afford proper healing went for help. It didn't pay well, just $1 a day, but Kess agreed to come help out when they could, especially since they were offered food and possibly gossip in addition to the coin. Adria and August went to speak to some farmers whose sheep were being killed. Over the last month, their herd had gone down from 75 to 50, and they couldn't figure out what was killing them in the middle of the night. Adria quickly smelled that there was a were creature nearby, and after speaking to a sheep that ended up being dubbed Lemon, she narrowed it down to one of the sheep that was being shied away from by the others. She talked to said sheep, whose name was Cody, and soon realized that they were a moody teenage were-sheep who'd spent so much time as a sheep that they didn't remember how to control their shifting into a human, or into a half-human, half-sheep, which had been happening involuntarily at night. After talking with Cody, Adria was able to convince him to let her work with him to teach him how to control his shifting again. She gave the farmers a brief overview of the situation, and they were so pleased about the story they'd have to tell in the aftermath that they agreed to let Cody work off the debt he owed them for killing so many of their sheep. Meanwhile, Kess finished up at the healing clinic, and despite being warned repeatedly by the others not to do so, stopped to pick up a definitely not cursed and most likely evil doll that someone was willing to pay people to take away. And that is where we left off.